We are back again with Dr. Deemantha, and Doctor, we would like to know, because most of the people are complaining, saying about this depression, and now it's a common scenario in the community. Why? How can you help as a hypnotherapy for these people who are suffering depression?
Depression, if you look at the real cause of depression, is mostly because these people cannot connect with people, and mostly they cannot connect with themselves. Their internal monologue, the words that they use about themselves and for themselves are negative, and the relationship that they make with other people, and mostly the relationship they have with their own selves, are negative. So that's where it begins, but that's where it lies as the reason for it. So if you dig deeper, first of all there are reasons why they have this kind of negative talk inside them, or why they have a bad relationship with their own selves, kind of thing. So they were actually not there when they were born. They are taught in their life somewhere. So through hypnosis, what you can do is hypnotherapy. You can really go and find out the places where these things began, and you can change what happened in their mind. It may be not the real thing that happened, but it's the imaginary label that they have put to this incident, the meaning that they have given to these incidences that happen. So that could be changed in their mind. And once you do that, the depression goes away. And so that's done under hypnosis, under hypnotherapy. So that's the story behind this whole depression thing.
And in the present scenario, we see a lot of suicide incidences as well. A lot of divorce cases are happening in this country as well, globally. So how can we address these issues? And the other question I want to ask you, Doctor, because this hypnotherapy is not very familiar with people. They're scared, sometimes they're scared to do this hypnotherapy. So I'd like to ask these two questions. How can we help these people to overcome the situation? There's people who are going through this depression and the next stage. How can you help these people?
One main thing that they could do is identify themselves, realize that they have depressed feelings. They may be not feeling good about themselves. It could manifest in different ways. Then there are even online questions that you can take to find out if you are clinically depressed, so to say. The next thing is, what you can do is to identify which words they use to talk about themselves inside them, and change this inner dialogue into a more positive one. Because there is not a single person in the world who could genuinely and more lovingly talk about other than your own self. So those are two things that a conscious person who is conscious about his or her mind could do to get over depression. So the other one is, if they cannot do it on their own, is to address to a person who could help them to go into the subconscious and find out the root causes, and to change the thinking process, and that would help.
And Doctor, now most of the sports personalities are there, and there are some they have got these they are banned for drugs incidences are there, and can this hypnotherapy be used for development of sports? Is there any
Yes,
possibility?
of course. It's a very interesting topic actually. Many countries use it, not only in sports, but even to train military people, to train pilots, where they would be in an imaginary state, where they would be performing the same, whatever the performance that they want to make, in an imaginary world, in a subconscious state, where they would be repeating the perfect, say if you take sports in cricket for example, they would be playing the perfect shot in their subconscious mind, and that helps them. But the main issue is people even who had been performing well, they can be after some time, because of stacking of negative experiences, negative traumas, mind traumas, could they won't be performing better, will be performing less, not in their optimal capacity. So in these cases, they could be taken into a trance. They themselves will identify the reasons in their subconscious mind why they are not performing well, and you can change again in their subconscious state, and that help them to release negative emotions and free up energy to perform better, so that they could be rewired to be more focused on their capabilities and talents they have, so they would perform better. So it's been used in many countries actually already. Unfortunately, we don't use it.
Right. So, and what else this hypnotherapy can be used, doctor, for? Especially, there are normal community problems are like people, the drug addicts are there. Can we use this hypnotherapy to overcome that situation?
Yeah. So ultimately what happens is you go and find the reasons for it in the subconscious mind ultimately. When you treat a person with any addiction, it could be not even drugs, it could be addiction to food, it could be addiction to TV or games or anything, or alcohol. The main reason why a person goes and gets involved in these abusive, in these negative, harmful addictions is actually to get rid of a bad feeling, to get away from a bad feeling that they have. So they go and find somewhere else where they could feel better, kind of. So what you should be doing is not just try to avoid the habit, I mean the drug or alcohol or TV or whatever, but actually to go and address the negative feeling that they have, from where that came from. And once you get rid of that, there won't be a reason why they should be going for drugs or alcohol or anything else.
Oh, very interesting, doctor, and thank you very much for joining our show. I'm sure there might be a lot of questions from the audience, and please write to us and stay in touch with us. So Dr. Deemantha is there to answer to all your questions, and we are looking forward to meet you once again, doctor, with another episode. Thank you very much for joining with us today.
Thank you.